right, what is going on, everyone? So, I want to talk about this trading setup, right? When you are first starting in this trading world and you're online, it's very confusing of knowing what exactly is the optimal setup, what helps, what doesn't help, what to look for, what are EMAs, trend lines, order blocks for value gaps. It's a lot. And so I've been there. And so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to share what I've done to simplify. Mind you, I've gone through everything in regards to order blocks, liquidity areas, trend lines, EMAs, and I still use a little bit of it, but nothing beats having a cleaner chart. So I want to dive into what works for me, what I think will work for any beginner trader. And if I would have told myself this a year ago, I probably would have been more profitable a lot sooner, right? So I want to kind of break down my setup. And so right now the platform I'm using is Topstep. You can use whatever platform you want to use, but I want to go through like what's worked for me first and foremost. Ideally, I get asked like, what do you need to trade? Do you need four screens? Do you need two screens? Right? Ultimately, you can use a laptop and a phone. You can use just a laptop. I have two monitors. I have one that's here, and I have another screen that's over here for some other charting, and then one that's here for me trading on Topstep. Obviously, a mouse, a keyboard, a desk and chair, some basic stuff, and then last but not least, headphones if you need to. You do not need to splurge. You can honestly get up and running for trading. You just need something that has a good amount of RAM. So I always recommend at least 8 gigs or so. Okay. Platforms, like I said, you can use whatever you want to use in regards to platforms. I like Topstep just because there's a lot of parameters in there that work. Um, and it uses Trading View's charting anyway, which is really, really, really good because I also use Trading View too. So I recommend a software that's going to work for easy setups, has a good support, can allow you to do multiple things, has a little bit of indicators if you need it, because sometimes indicators help, but nothing beats having, a cleaner chart, which I'll show you guys in a little bit. Okay. In regards to the setup, let me show you that right now. So I used to just trade a one screen type of setup. I have now moved over to having three. One screen works too, right? So as of right now, like I am in a small trade to the upside right now for NQ with what I'm seeing here. But ideally, the perfect setup, in my opinion, is having a 5 minute up here to your top left, a 30 minute to your right, a 1 minute here at the bottom left, and then obviously a 15 minute here to the bottom right. That's just me personally. You can make this a 1 hour here. You can make this a 30 minute. You can make it a 4 hour, depending on how you trade. But this is what's working for me for the day trading style that I am doing every single day. Um, with that being said, you want to start off with a cleaner chart. Okay. You want to start off with a cleaner chart where you can kind of pan out and see a little bit of everything. Okay. No EMAs, just lines, just levels. So that way you can kind of trade from there. The most popular times, in my opinion, like I said, are the 1 minute, 5 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, and then daily, weekly, and monthly. I love those levels, and it helps in regards to knowing where things are as a whole. All right. So looking at that too as well in regards to setup, right? So having the four screens helps. You can go full screen. So something like this on Top Step when you are trading helps because you can see everything a little bit cleaner versus having a tighter screen. Okay. And then ideally you can refresh screens here, or you can refresh screens here, and then you can kind of like just look at certain particular areas. For those of you guys that have charts that aren't syncing like this, and once again, I've been there where it's like, well, when I click my 5 minute, it's not moving, or if I click my 1 minute, it's not moving. If you literally go to right here where you have your different layouts, you're going to click it. There is a part that says time here, right? So if you click time, it will allow you to kind of jump around. So if you're hovered over 5 minute, it'll show you the 1 minute at the bottom of it and so on. All right, so let's talk another thing in regards to why I like Top Step and why I think that this helps, right? So if you go to your settings here to the left, right, you can go to your risk parameters, right? So a lot of people struggle with trading because there is no risk. At the end of the day, like you can come in here immediately and you can set your risk of $100, $50, $200, whatever you want to set as your risk. And then obviously your profit can be your profit. You can set personal daily loss limits. So once again, if I have a 50K account and my max drawdown is 2,000, right? I can say, okay, you know what? If I want to stop myself, I'm gonna stop myself at 250, right? I'm gonna stop myself at 500, right? If I have a goal, you can set that too as well, and then you can have it either liquidate you, meaning that it's going to stop you from trade, or it's going to stop the trade because you've hit your target. If you hit liquidate and block, it's going to stop a trade and prevent you from trading the rest of that day, which I think is very impactful. Another thing that a lot of people aren't using, in my opinion, is news. Okay, there's two sites in particular that I recommend in regards to knowing what's going on with news. So Topstep does have it here. If you go to your Trader Hub, you can kind of see what's going on and what's upcoming. So all the news and all the events that are happening that can affect the market. This is crucial, right? Of knowing this too as well. All right. Another site that I used to use before I got familiar with Topstep is Forex Factory. So if we go to Forex Factory, all right, so here's Forex Factory, right? So very similar to, this is another one for those of you guys that are using different platforms in Topstep that works so you can kind of know exactly what's going on with news. A lot of times when the news hits, trades usually go a certain way, and you can come here, make sure that you set it up to your proper time and everything like that. Okay, but those are what I use in regards to setup, and you can kind of see most times, right now it is 5:04. A lot of times, right, when the time happens, news usually happens too, right? And it usually forces the market to move, like you see right now is kind of happening. So, so this is kind of why I like Topstep as a whole. So let's talk about the setup. So ideally, right, I like having a clean setup. Most times for me, I am always doing the yesterday's high, yesterday's low, 2 days low, 2 days high, right, and going from there. Right, my target right now is right 2 days high of day, and if we break through it, we may have a continuation to the upside from what I'm seeing here. All right. I then go down to the 4 hour level and do the same exact thing where I'm marking up liquidities, high and lows. I do the same thing on an hourly level too. Right. And then I will then at that point now move over to my 5 minute time frame, which is a lot cleaner. All right. If you look at this, and once again, as a new trader, this is something that it took me years to really understand. When you have your three charts as a whole and you scroll down, you can see right now this 30 minute, if I was to hover over it, you can see on the left screen over here and also the right screen or the left bottom screen right here for the 1 minute where it is in correlation to everything else, right? So if I hover over this 30 minute, you can see that the line is moving across. If I hover to this 30 minute, all right, and so this is how it all kind of correlates. So now if you're thinking about buying or going long, hypothetically, and let's just say we are here, I'm gonna make this a little bit easier because I think this is going to make it a tad bit easier. So here we go. Okay, so if we go back here to our 5 minute right here, and you see that we have a 30-minute bullish candle, ideally, you're going to probably want to wait till we get a little bit lower if you know that the trend is going up on a higher time frame, right? Same thing for the 5 minute and so on, right? And so this is something that as a new trader, we're not looking at, right? This is something that took me years to really understand and how to correlate everything, get everything to kind of match, right? Here's another reason I want to do this. So let's go here down here to a 1 hour time frame. So you can kind of see what I'm talking about. All right, so if we go down to a 1 hour time frame and we see that we are going up and bullish as a new trader, you can see all of a sudden, right, that if you're just following the trend, understanding that we are going up, you're going to wait till we get some type of pullback to the downside to continue up over that hour, right? Same thing right here goes for the 5 minute and so on. So this is why I like to set up because you can kind of follow trends, wait for pullbacks if you know that the direction is going the right way. And that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions on setups, if you have any questions on anything trading wise, do not hesitate to message or drop it in the comments, and I'll try my best to answer it. Once again, this is what's worked for me. I'm sure everyone has different setups, but this is what works for me and has allowed me to now be more profitable as I'm trading And the same strategy works for options. The same strategy works for futures and also Forex too as well. All right. I have a forward chart set up. I like the 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 minute, just so I can see the little micro details happening. And then a 1 hour or 4 hour over here. Okay. And if you are doing hypothetically levels, as you should, right, should make it a little bit easier. So prime example, if this was a liquidity area of yours and you drew a liquidity box hypothetically, right, or just a zone, and we go back down to a smaller time frame, you can see that we broke that level not too long ago. And so we'll probably continue up, right? And so this is how those micro details and micro things matter. And so as you're using a bigger time frame, it makes it that much easier to stay in trades. You can now, I'll show you as an example, right? You can now, if you are trading an account like this, right, move your stop loss. If it's down here, you can move it up here because you know you have this whole level of support right here, if that makes sense, right? And I will switch over to the trade so you can kind of see exactly what I'm talking about, right? So this is the MMQ trade. If we do the same exact thing where we create a level right here on the right side, the bottom right for the hourly level, right? I can, in a sense, because I'm protected now, move this stop loss to right here and profit and know that I'm comfortable, right? And if we continue up, we continue up, but I have this support level right here for this hourly level, right? And that's pretty much it. And this is trading as a whole. And then for me, I am targeting here. We're targeting this 2-day high of day, right? So this could continue to go up due to market news or anything like that. But this is how I would trade this and how I would use these simple setups, this 4 screen to kind of look at that. All right. And then those of you guys are asking squiggly lines, these are just EMAs, anchor VWAPs, which I will definitely discuss in another video because it's just another thing to have. But ultimately, having a cleaner chart to where you can kind of see everything and see what's happening, it goes such a long way, right? So there's a possibility, looking at all of this today, that although we are going up, right, we could push down once we get back up here, back down here, right? Especially after how yesterday's day was. And then we may push down and then continue up. So we'll see how that happens and how that goes when the market opens. Other than that, if you guys are new to the channel, please do not forget to subscribe. If you have any questions on trading or futures or options or anything like that, don't hesitate to drop a comment below so that way I can help as best as I can. We are going to be creating a free community at some point to help a lot of us beginning traders get into one community where there's a safe space and you guys can ask questions and all that fun stuff to be more profitable. All right, see you guys in the next video.